Leftovers, I just love them. I love discovering things in the back of the refrigerator that I'd long forgotten. Things like, well, for instance, a chili jam I've discovered here, which is fabulous with terrines and pâtés and keeps actually for quite a long time. This one I'm not so sure, but I think this was a soup we used last year. It looks terrific, but just a bit far gone. This mashed potato, wonderful with some vegetables, just stir-fried as a bubble and squeak. Well, the recipe today using leftovers is an Asian bubble and squeak. After a fashion, it's fried rice. And what a joy this is to prepare. Pre-loved vegetables are fantastic, such as broccoli that might have been cooked and left over, as long as it's not been overcooked. Just blanched. Cooked chicken shouldn't be kept in the fridge too long anyway. So all I do here is just take the meat off the bone and cut the meat into small pieces. Frozen peas, why not? I'll be using those. Some chopped onion, I like to have that ready. And some capsicum I cut into strips. These aren't leftovers, these are fresh. Corn on the cob, could be leftover corn on the cob, or you could use it fresh just by cutting the kernels away from the centre, and they will cook in the stir-fry. They don't need blanching first. Prawns, not likely there'll be any leftover prawns, but if there are, they can go into this dish. Dried mushrooms, these simply need rehydrating by pouring over some water and letting them soak for several minutes. And then they're drained. This is leftover rice, it's just been steamed. It's one of those rices that is parboiled, so it's very easy to cook, keeps well once it has been cooked, and the grains stay very separate. Now to the cooking, which is, after all, the fun part, and all these vegetables should be prepared in advance of cooking, because once that starts, it's a very quick process indeed. It's very important to have a very hot wok or frying pan for this dish. I put in oil first. Canola or peanut oil will be fine, a light flavoured oil. And then some sesame oil for that wonderful nuttiness you get. Onions are next, these thin slices of onions, and they're stir-fried for just a minute or 2 minutes before adding an optional garlic if you wish. The dish is still sensational without it, but I just love garlic, as you know. Some kecap manis or kecap manis, the Indonesian sweet soy sauce. You could also use a lighter soy sauce if you wished. And then chili. I like my fried rice quite chili hot. You could also use some pieces of fresh or dried chili. Some pepper, a generous grinding of pepper, but I don't add salt. I find there's enough in the soy sauce. Now once this becomes a wonderful fragrant mixture, I start adding the vegetables. If the broccoli is not being cooked first, I add it now, otherwise it could be added later. Capsicum strips, they just need a few minutes. And of course the corn only needs a few minutes. Peas in next, and frozen peas are perfect for this. And the dried mushrooms. Now those are the ingredients that really need some cooking. The chicken is in next, and then the prawns, they get put in just before you're ready to serve, along with the rice, and still over very high heat. If you don't have a stove that gives you a lot of heat, it's a good idea to do this in a couple of batches. The last thing you want is for the mixture to stew. And there it is, fantastic and ready to serve. And this delicious spicy fried rice goes onto a large warmed plate. A little topping of roasted peanuts and some shallots. These are deep fried shallots that you can get in Oriental food stores. A few leaves of coriander, and why not a final topping of a prawn and a piece of capsicum strip. And there it is, the Consuming Passions fried rice. Degree of difficulty, well, I think very easy indeed. Keepability, you could refry it if you wanted to, and I think it makes a rather good salad. Preparation time, about 15 to 20 minutes preparing the ingredients, and then you can cook it in about 5 minutes. Leftovers and new ingredients combined in a very Asian way with the Consuming Passions fried rice. Now, because of its chilly heat, I choose not to serve this with a wine, but with some refreshing green tea. From Consuming Passions, bon appetit.